Sleepers Podcast. We're back Friday, October 24th. As you can see, I'm not G, I'm not Cart, and that's not Riley Davis. Riley Davis has ducked the Riley Friday smoke yet again. But I'm back with Tanner. Tanner, how you doing this morning?
I'm great. I'm tired. Like I was saying off the air, I was up until about 2 a.m. last night writing my main Black Bear preview. It was thunderstorming outside. I felt like I was Stephen King. But I'm in the home stretch of college basketball preseason prep, and soon we'll be watching real games starting at 8 a.m. on Monday with Queens Winthrop.
I can't wait for that, by the way. Once I found out I have a 5 a.m. game I can lock in on, are you kidding me? Like, I just
Yeah,
couldn't be more fired up for that.
so excited.
Do you have a lean on that game at all? Like, is there something I should be looking out for?
Not yet. However, I can right now give you what I projected. I make Winthrop a 5 point favorite. 157 is the
Oh,
total. So we'll see what that opens at.
okay. So, like,
I do think I think Winthrop is a top three team in the Big South. Um, Queens, I don't know enough about Queens yet. I'm still finishing ASUN stuff, but typically a good offense, bad defense team, and they run fast. Hence why the total's near 160.
Queens is a school in North Carolina, right? Like, not the
Yeah, yeah,
actual Queens in
yeah.
New York.
Queens of Charlotte.
Okay. And they were just like D2 like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think they just had got their postseason eligibility, but I don't quote me on that. But I am pretty sure it's like that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they're always like a fun team to watch. Just usually solid offense. They run quick and they're not athletic enough to stop on defense. So, but that's a lot of like the rising D2 teams. Like I expect something similar-ish from New Haven this
Mm.
year. Um, a team actually that bucked that trend was Merrimack because Merrimack runs a really interesting the Joe Gallo 2-3 zone is a fascinating, unique zone scheme. But yeah.
I mean, I guess what about Queens Winthrop do you think like have give us the pitch on waking up at 8 a.m. Monday morning?
Well, I mean that was really the pitch is that Queens is a fun team to watch. They always run fast. They are typically good offensively and they don't play very much defense. So for imagine if we get a game that with a 160 total at 8 a.m., that's like a real wake up call, a slap to the face. And Winthrop is they're tough. They typically are downhill driving offense, draw a lot of free throws, thrive on contact, and they're always a high floor team in the Big South.
Okay.
So I mean, look, and I mean the other pitch is just it's 8 a.m. on Monday morning, and yeah, like it's gonna be high, just a high pace game. It's gonna you can skip your morning coffee that day. It's gonna be like Red Bull.
People loved you shouting out Drake May Lover.
Oh.
Care comment. Have you bought the shirt that says I heart Drake May?
No, I have to though. My I that guy has been really funny for like 2 years, and I'm happy he's getting his flowers.
Did
The
the NFL?
the best ones are his posts where he's just like where he says like if you agree, and it's just a picture of Drake.
I saw I saw two posts that I thought were hilarious. The NFL tagged him in a post, which I think is so funny, like that even the
Mm,
NFL is like kind of buying into all of it, and that's super cool for him. Honestly, I probably even cool for Drake May too. Although there is a world Drake May is like, yo, this dude's weird. Like I don't want to I don't want to speak for Drake on that, but another cool one I saw like Drake May is kind of like getting like the weird, like not the weird, but like the aura of like let's create. You know how people always say, well, Oscar Robertson had like 50 triple doubles, but we don't actually know.
yeah.
Will Chamberlain scored 100 points, but there's no film. We're kind of doing that. Like Bo Jackson ran a 4-2, but no one knows. I saw a post that was like, no one's had more comebacks down five in the first quarter than Drake.
I saw it someone because someone posted a picture. It was like the Patriots won all these games. It was like 3-0 with 11 minutes left. Drake May did a response video to Drake May Lover. Did
Okay.
you see that? Yeah.
No.
And his response, he was weirded out. Yeah. He was like, this is so, he was like, what is wrong with people?
Probably a fair response.
Yeah.
Probably a fair
I
response.
think he's a pretty like I think he seems like a pretty low key like guy. He's like not like a media hound like an Aaron Rodgers or something. He met his current wife when they were like in high school still, stayed together, got married. He I think he's very low key behind the scenes, but
His,
elite quarterback.
his brother was very low key too.
Yeah.
It adds up that Drake May's a little bit more quiet. I mean, that's the same way Luke was.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
did you like our episode the other day?
Loved it.
I feel like we got some love for it.
Yeah,
It's not easy.
I think we did a good job. The chemistry is growing, and hopefully we'll get to do more of these in the future, especially if the big dogs of the channel are off doing more media day appearances and such as they continue to grow their own personal brands. Much deserved, by the way.
I'm so excited to see what they did from that.
Me too. Yeah,
They sent me a couple pictures. Like I'm not gonna, spoil anything, but the pictures I saw were very, very cool. I think even like some of the videos that they posted on Twitter, I think G hit a shot over like the some moving balloon. Like everything they did seemed super cool. I hope they get to do it for the Big Ten next year.
that'd
That's
be
my
sweet.
ask. Is
Yep.
like if they were able to do this with the Big 12, imagine what they could do with the Big 10 with the fan base G and Card already have.
Yeah.
Just the over, I mean, G is doing a keepers Big Ten league. Just
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
overall knowledge of the league. Like, I think it'd be super cool if they get to do it with the Big Ten, and hopefully they, while they were in Kansas City, were keeping an eye on the channel, and they feel even more comfortable taking some of these opportunities, to continue to do this stuff because we were able to hold it down. Speaking of which, I'm going to get into the YouTube comment of the day. It is from Jason Wright 2668. He says, Purdue fan here. I actually like Tanner. Haha. The haha is crazy to me, but we shouldn't want the glaze constantly. Do you care to comment on that? I feel like we keep talking about it, but you and Purdue fans have been a little up and down.
I think it's I think I agree with him. I think that you can't you don't want to get once everyone in the media is all in on your team, that's a death sentence. And or on the other side, if I'm completely wrong and the defense is a top 15 unit and Purdue steamrolls to a national championship, guess what? You can dunk on me all next offseason. I hope it happens. I hope you get to dunk all over my face. That would be great. It's really a win-win for you that you guys get a true hater on the channel.
You know what? That's an extremely like good and mature way of looking at it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one can really disagree with that. Like, kudos to you for like that vantage point.
It's it's just college basketball content in the end. And I'm just, I just see their defense not being that good, and I think that's what holds them back. But hopefully, I'm wrong for Purdue fans' sake.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Let's get into Discord comments. Everybody join the Discord, $9.99 a month. You get your comments read every day. Like I mentioned, we have a Big Ten only fantasy league in there. We have the NCAA dynasty going on. Baseball was popping in there for a little bit. I personally wasn't involved in that. I don't do baseball. I'm gonna be honest. I don't do baseball, but I will say my favorite part of the Discord, and Tanner, I'm excited to have you involved in this year too. A big college basketball game. Amongst the fan bases in the Discord, there is nothing better. It gets a little like,
Chippy. It'll get
chippy.
chippy, heated, but a lot of good discourse too, just in general.
Oh yeah, and I would say like the hoop knowledge in the Discord is way higher than I think anyone would give it credit for. Like we're having like real discussions. It's not.
Yeah, and it's always nice when I'm watching a game and I get to bounce something off someone else live. Like, hey, did you just see what I just saw? You know what I mean? And it's almost like, and then they could say, well, actually, I saw it like a little bit differently. And I think it just expands my ability to watch a game live and learn more from a game. So, yes, join the Discord.
Join the
I
Discord.
will be in there.
9.99 a month, and you can watch a game with Tanner, myself, G, Cart, Riley, everybody on the team, and it's only going to make all of us enjoy the sport more.
Hmm.
Okay, I didn't need to read that Purdue comment because we have Tune in parentheses bring back Hailfire. I, for one, as a Purdue fan, want to say I really enjoy the addition of Tanner on the channel. I think he's really informed and well spoken, and sometimes this summer the channel can come off as glazing Purdue, which I'll always eat up. But I enjoy having someone with a contrasting viewpoint to build some cool discussion. All love.
Thank you. And I can't wait to discuss Purdue with you all season long from opposite vantage points.
I feel like somebody has to be on the opposite side of Purdue, so I'm going to say that I've decided to take this personally,
Yeah.
because because I'm the one that's constantly glazing Purdue. So like now I've decided to take this personally.
Are they like right now your national championship pick if you had to pick one team?
Yeah, I actually put 3 units on them to win the national championship.
Ooh, what was the price on that?
Two of the units are plus 2,700, and one of the units is plus 900.
When
Oh,
did you
excuse
get
me. Two of the units were plus 1,800. I'm sorry.
when did you get plus 1800? That's a good price.
That was before the Clough and Meyer transfer. So it was like right after, it was like the very first odds after the Florida won the Natty.
I mean, look, I'm not a big like Purdue believer this year, but at 20 to 1, I would be a much more of a Purdue believer.
Yeah.
That's a good price. Yeah.
The plus 900 one was more so like I just wanted to like triple down. And
Sure.
if
Sure.
I'm not gonna lie, like that's the one where I'm like, I wish I just put 3 units on them originally. But yeah, I mean, when I saw, I think the original odds came out, I even got Duke like plus 1,600 themselves.
That's a good one too. Yeah. It's always good grabbing those early ones.
I think
I hit UConn like 50 to 1 a few years ago when it was like after their like losing streak in Big East play and then they came back and rolled through. That was a good win.
was that their first national title or their second?
Yes. Yeah. I got a really good price on that.
Quick little 30-second break so Tanner could let his dog out. We are a pro dog podcast at all times. But right back to the Discord comments. We got War Chant. I'm happy for Greg and Carter at Big 12 Media Day. At the same time, as a Big Ten fan, I am jealous. Like it's like when you find out your girl is cheating on you. Do you guys feel like you should make it up to us Big Ten fans? Maybe they go to Big Ten tournament or multiple Big Ten game trips. Greg and Carter will find out that the Big 12 is just using them and the Big Ten is their true love. Big 12 is the really hot girl that leaves you quickly wondering what happened. That is a hilarious way to say what I said a little bit
A
earlier.
very apt description too. That is so true.
That is so
So
funny.
true. Um, no, we just said that we hope that they get to go to Big Ten Media Days next year.
Yeah. I,
Maybe a Big Ten tournament trip. Like there's a lot of Big Ten stuff that they should do and hopefully will do.
I think the more stuff they do, War Chant, whether it's the Big 10, Big 12, Big East, ACC, SEC, regardless, like it could be the A sign. If G and
Yeah.
Carter are on camera doing something, it's going to come off positively. And the more stuff that they do on camera, whether it's on this channel or other platforms, it's only going to increase the likelihood they get to go to like Big 12 tournament and so on and so forth. So I would say, War Chant, just be patient. These guys are insanely talented, and like I said, the more stuff they get to do, only better for us. And honestly, only better for those of us that actually want them to do the Big Ten stuff too. Because imagine the Big Ten is just watching them do this Big 12 stuff. They're going to want them at Big Ten Media Day next year.
Mhm.
Still War Chant though. Greg and Carter should get Bill Self to admit that he messed up by leaving Illinois. Uh,
Nope.
no. And Bill came back finally for an exhibition game 2 years ago. They should ask Bill if he's ready to play a home and home with Illinois. It's time. Had some great games against Kansas when Self was the Illinois coach. Yeah, I don't. I love Illinois. I'm addicted to Illinois. He made the right choice.
Yep. Oh yeah.
War Chant, one last one. Biggest game of the year for Illinois football on Saturday at Washington. That's not the biggest game of the year, War Chant. But can the Illini win that game? If they go on to run the table, does the CFP dream come true for the Illini? No. Uh,
Yeah, I don't think so either. That's a tricky game going cross country. There, it's he said it's at Washington, right?
at Washington, but I
Yeah,
don't
and
believe.
well, I like the Washington quarterback a lot. I'm a big Damon Williams guy. But Ill Illinois, I don't know. They'll probably win that game, but it doesn't mean I don't think it means they'll get to the CFP, which is unfortunate because it's a good team, but I don't think they're quite top 12, top 10.
I don't believe you can say at Washington's your biggest game of the year and then also say, can we get into the CFP in the
Yeah.
same instance?
Yeah. That's a good point.
That's really all it is for me. Uh, I'm Maynard. Happy Riley Fridays. I saw a tweet from UNC fan slash grad William McAllister saying Hebert should get fired if one of these things happens. Can you rank these? I'm gonna save this for Riley. I'm gonna
Yep.
save that one for Riley.
Fair.
Um, Twitter users called it cringe that Coach K bowed. This is also iMainer. Twitter users called it cringe that Coach K bowed to Johnny Dawkins before the game. Don't think they realize he's the most important recruit in Duke history. Coach K probably gets fired without whom. Who is a coach you think was one recruit away from being fired, or from being great, but instead got fired?
That's an impossible question for me. You got anything?
Uh, I can tell you Hubert was not getting Caleb Wilson away from being fired and is still there. Like it's easier for
Yeah.
me to point at like a Diebler, or excuse me, Jake Diebler, who just got Anthony Thompson and he was probably going to get fired, but now you can't fire him, than vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah. That's I don't have an answer to that. If I think of one, I'll sling it in the Discord.
Yeah, I got nothing for that too. Fam, happy Blessed Friday. Y'all know how we rock. Is zero a number? What is it if it isn't?
It's a number, yeah. Is that a common mathematical theory or like a has someone posited that zero is not a number?
I,
I'm pretty
I'm
sure it's on the rational number list. I'm near positive.
yeah. I'm just gonna be honest. I couldn't be the worst, like a worse person to ask this question. I have no idea. It's
My answer is yes. My answer is zero is a number. It's on the rational number list. That's what I'm going to say on the number line.
yeah. I mean, listen, we used it in math class, so if we used it in math class, then it's a number to me. Burner 605. Happy Riley Friday. Do you think in a free country, G League players should be allowed to play in college?
You think no, I'm uncertain.
I think no. I think framing it as a free country makes me want to say yes.
Are you anti-freedom?
Like it makes me sound crazy, and now I'm like,
All
yeah.
all of all of the headlines tomorrow. Dion, anti-freedom. Yeah.
Did you
You're gonna be
see
up
Ant
there.
Wright's tweet yesterday?
Who?
Ant Wright,
No, I don't think so.
such a good tweet. He's like, breaking news: free agent Cam Reddish has has stopped exploring playing in the NBA and is down to three schools or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
That's so good. That's essentially what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Um, this next one's fam. I'm gonna save this for G and Car since it's about Big 12 Media Day. And then T. Steffi asked Riley about ACC Media Day, so I'm going to save that for him as well. By the way, guys, this is transparency. When I say I'm going to save that for them, they're probably not going to read it. Like, there's no way that they're going to know I was saving that for them. But also, like, I don't want to answer those questions for them at the same time. Um,
Maybe they will in the Discord. Maybe they'll come back around.
yeah, man, they
Yeah,
might
I'm
check
sure they
it.
will.
You know what? I'll text it to them. That way they know we didn't read
Yeah,
them.
we'll send it in we got a group chat. We'll send it in.
Burner Burner posted a Hunter Dickinson clip from yesterday. No comment.
Was that him making the free throw line?
I think
Little
so. Yeah.
floater. That's the funniest first bucket for Hunter Dickinson to have in the NBA. It's just hilarious. And
I
it's
didn't
just
realize he actually made the team.
I know. I can't believe he got minutes in an NBA game on opening night. It's crazy to me.
Did you see Brooks Barnhizer was like one of the first players off the bench for the Thunder on Tuesday?
No, he wasn't really.
I swear, I think he got first quarter burn.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on in the NBA right now, but there are some rookies that are getting burned that like I just didn't think would actually play.
Didn't Edgecombe put up 30 something?
34 and a win, yeah.
Ooh, what a dog.
Yeah. VJ 100% feels like a better NBA than college guy.
Yes. Oh yeah, for sure. And that Baylor team last year was, little funky. I don't think it fit very well together.
Yeah.
Like I said on yesterday's shows, I think that Baylor's still kind of a program in decline after their 21 natty, and they got a Scott Drew has to do a little soul searching.
I said this on a short with Riley. I mean, recording it like an hour ago, but obviously posted to the channel yesterday. Um, Baylor is a program to me that's like not sustainable. Like they won an Natty, they can be very good, but they're not like a North Carolina Duke where it doesn't matter who really the coach is. They're always going to be like up in this upper echelon. Baylor's a program that's one bad hire away from being bad.
True. That's a good point. It's crazy to think about how Scott Drew won a national title 20 years after everything that happened.
Crazy.
That was a really amazing job that he did. That Baylor team is one of my favorite teams of all time too. So
Uh,
fun.
Also crazy to think he won a national title so close to what happened to that football program too.
Yeah. Oh my God. Crazy.
Just snacky. The last time the preseason number one team in the country won the national championship was UNC in 2009. Before that was Florida in 2007, and before that was Duke in 1992. Very rare achievement. However, it seems very hard that this Purdue team doesn't at least make the Final Four, even with the randomness of March Madness. Agreed. I also think I also think records are made to be broken. Impossible things are meant to be done, and it is what it is. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. It's it's no harder for preseason number one to win a national title than it is preseason number 20 to win a national title. It's just hard to win a national title.
Especially in a one and done tournament format where high variance is everything.
Yeah, it's just hard to win a natty. Just snacky again. Final score predictions for Kentucky-Purdue. I did the Kentucky-Purdue preview with Riley. It's already up on the channel, so I won't say mine. But Tanner, do you have a exhibition score prediction?
When's the exhibition game?
Friday. So actually, it'll be up on the channel or I mean, the game is about 7 or 8 hours after this will be posted.
Oh, maybe I'll tune in for a little bit of it. Kentucky doesn't have Low or Jaden,
No JQ, no low, and Ortega was limited in their inner squad scrimmage.
so Purdue wins. I'll say Purdue by, I don't know, Purdue 75-62 or something in
What's
that
your
range.
what's your opinion on Owe? I told Riley this, like if you're limited in the inter squad scrimmage, I think I don't play you in this exhibition. I think I just let you.
Are you talking about my opinion on playing him in this exhibition?
Yeah, yeah, not
I
that.
am personally of the opinion that exhibitions mean nothing. I rarely watch them. I rarely put any stock into them, and I would absolutely not play him in this exhibition if he's remotely even dealing with like a and nagging hamstring. His
Okay,
hamstring sore. Just put some ice on it and sit him on the bench.
I agree. I think you and
Yeah.
I are the only ones on the channel that feel that way about exhibitions, by the way.
Yep. Hmm.
But I completely agree. I will be tapped into this one though. This is a pretty good game. Um, Michael, please. All he said was Wemby. Agreed. Best player.
Unbelievable. I don't watch much NBA, but I caught some of the his like highlight tape. What he dropped 40 and he had that one step back 4 point play. He's an alien. I don't get it, man.
It,
That's
he's insane. He had 40 and 15 in 30 minutes. He's the best player in the world right now. And he's
how are the Spurs supposed to lose the NBA championship with him on the team? How are they supposed to lose a game? Doesn't make it. I don't know. I saw the score. I saw when he hit that three, they were down like 3 points, and I was like, how? How is that possible?
it's
He should just
almost
score every single time down the court.
anytime it's almost criminal that the Spurs GM came up with Julian Champagnie to be the small forward for this team.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
how good they are. It's almost criminal. Like you don't need much, and you came up with Julian Champagnie and Harrison Barnes to play next to him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He's a freak. He's the best player in the world. I don't know what you're supposed to do, but yeah, no, he's a freak. Wemby indeed. Sleeve Nash. After some real evaluation, I've decided to update my sleepers media ball knowledge rankings. No shots here. So I don't know that I want to read this one. All right, I'm going to Sleeve. You're my dog, and I know you're trying to hype me up in this, but like the whole channel knows hoops, man. The whole channel knows hoops truly, but no shots here. Some are fans, some truly get the game. I used to be out on D, but he's proven he really understands hoops, especially who makes a true role player and how to find a wing, big, or guard. Only knock, he still thinks Overmars should start. And then he ranked me, Riley, Cart, and G. I'm not going to read that portion of it, Sleeve. All of us know hoops. The team's also bigger than four people now. If you're going to do this, at least list all of us. But
Oh,
seriously,
I thought you were gonna read it because he ranked me last.
no, no, no. He
Did he
didn't
rank
rank.
me at all?
Uh, no, he didn't rank. He only ranked me, Riley, Carton, G. I didn't want to read it. Like, I don't think any of us are any less than anybody in terms of our hoops knowledge. We
Yeah.
just have
Yeah.
differing opinions, and you're gonna agree with some people, you're gonna disagree with others. That's the way this thing goes. There's a lot of people that hate when I'm on the channel. Like, I'm not here to shy away from that too. I literally called Mirkovic 22 about a month ago.
Yeah.
We're not that far removed from me being 4 years off on this dude's age. Like, so I mean, I appreciate it, Sleeve. I appreciate the love. Seriously, like I really do. But also, let's not be rude to anybody else.
True.
Um, all hail the Pope. Happy right. Hope Riley's on for Riley Friday. He is not. Um,
Sorry, man. My bad.
sorry. But who do y'all think will play good for Kentucky against Purdue? Also, would you take Purdue -5.5?
I would not bet an exhibition game. Although, well, if Kentucky has none of its players, maybe, And Purdue is deep, and they need to figure out their rotations a little bit more. Actually, Purdue -5.5 is not a bad bet, even though I don't wouldn't bet an exhibition. Who's going to play well for Kentucky? Was that the question?
Who's going to play good for Kentucky, and would you take the spread?
Cam Williams hits a bunch of threes. That's my prediction.
I like that. I like that. I like Cam Williams' game a lot.
Oh yeah.
I'm super bought into like a Cam might be a lottery pick,
Oh yeah.
low key. Like he's crazy. I think I got Purdue -5.5. Like no one on Kentucky's playing.
Yeah. Yeah. I might just bet it. I might just lay it with you actually.
Yeah, like yeah, if that's a real spread, like two of Kentucky's three best players, and in my opinion, like one of the best players in the game, that's not Braden Smith and JQ isn't playing, and then Ortega was limited, and we don't know if he's going to play or not. At least pregame -5.5 makes sense. If the game starts and you see Ortega's like 100%, then maybe you want to like live bet
Yeah.
Kentucky to kind of hedge
Yeah.
your way out of there. But not taking Purdue -5.5 when it's questionable what you're getting out of Kentucky's three best players, and you know two of them just aren't playing is crazy to me. Who plays good? I agree with you on Cam Williams. I think this is a good Trent Noah spot.
Yeah.
Exhibitions
That's
are
a
going to
good
be a
call.
little less intense. Purdue, obviously, we have the defensive concerns that we've spoken about. Like that feels like a big Trent Noah, maybe even Colin Chandler spot. And then the only other thing that I had for it was maybe Jasper Johnson goes crazy. Maybe Jasper Johnson goes crazy. I don't know. I'm very curious within this game, like how much, like what are the rotations for Kentucky gonna look like? Um, so I think that portion of it is something that like I'm curious about before I say who plays good. I just don't know who's like how it's gonna look, who's truly gonna be out there. Um,
Garrison at the 5 is what I would do, right?
I think that's what they
Make
do.
him act
Yeah.
as like a high post trigger man, and then Aberdeen would be your kind of lead guard, I guess. Seems
Yeah.
like that's what I would do.
That's what I would do too. I mean, you have to go Garrison at the five. I don't think they want to. That's the thing. Like the way Purdue like or not excuse me the way Kentucky coaches speak about Garrison, I don't think they want to go with him at the five, but I think they have to. I said this on the video. The focus in the Louisville Kentucky rivalry has been on the Louisville front court. The closer we get to the season, the more the signal is like JQ's not playing right away. The more I'm sitting here like, how much better is this Kentucky front court?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
seriously, like are we 100% sure? Like with no JQ, are we sure they're better? With JQ, they're way better, but.
Yeah.
There's some more question marks than I think we once thought. Um, all hail the Pope. Do y'all think Duke or Kentucky will have a more successful season? I think it
Duke
depends
or
on,
Kentucky?
yeah.
I'm Duke. I'm in on Duke.
I'm in on Duke too. I think it depends on your definition of success, though, too. I kind of think Kentucky's a little bit more equipped for like a deep run in March, but because of some of the early injuries, I don't know how you couldn't say Duke like early on at least.
I have Duke power rated higher. I think Kentucky has a lower floor with some of their questions, and I think Duke is going to have a much more manageable schedule in the ACC compared to Kentucky in the SEC, which is going to be a grind.
Yeah.
I think Duke.
And Duke's best player is actually playing. Like
Yep. Yep.
Kentucky's best player is coming off an ACL injury. But like you get into March, and I might be convinced like you see that fully healthy Kentucky team, and I might be convinced like a 3 or 4 seed Kentucky team can make a run. But Duke will be a 1 seed or a 2 seed at worst, in my opinion.
Yep.
Um, Vinay, create your best coaching lineup using current college head coaches across the sport. These are the requirements. And you know what, Vinay? I think this is a good full episode topic. So I'm gonna pull rank and screenshot and send it to JK to have something in the back pocket for a future full episode topic. That's a really good comment though, Vinay. I appreciate it. Um, but yeah, we'll get into the episode. Thanks everybody for the comments. That's the last one of the day. Enjoy a ad read from our sponsor.
Dion, how's your job going?
Beginning of the school year, everything's like a little up and down. One of the biggest issues we've had is we can't find any uniforms for our girls' sports teams.
Mm, that's a difficult thing to find a solution for. I know damn well all about that because I got a daughter that just turned 2. She's into sports and she's already outgrowing every little piece of sports apparel she had. Thankfully, I know Clara Kate Creations. Clara Kate Creations was started by a former high school teacher who quit because it wasn't cost effective to send new twins and a 2-year-old to daycare. She found it easier to make girls' sports apparel than finding it to buy. And I am so thankful that she exists because if we have an old shirt of Murph's that she's outgrown, we can send it in and she takes that piece of apparel that means something and upcycles it into an outfit that Murphy can now wear as she grows up. She makes great stuff. It's honestly kind of like your fullback's wife, Kyle Juszczyk. Is that how you say it? She does that, but honestly, I think Clara Kate's coming for Mrs. Juszczyk's job.
I love that. I'm a big Juice guy. Love his wife. Love Claire Kate even more than both of them, though.
You can send in your own custom ideas and she will come up with a design. She's just the best. Look up Clara Kate Creations on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and more.
All right. First topic of the day. We are going to do three overperformers for this season and three underperformers for this season. We're going to go back and forth, one each. We're going to start with the overperformers. Tanner, you want to go first or you want to go second?
I'll go first. I only have three overperformers here. I found it hard to actually find like underperforming teams that I really felt confident in. So I have one like high level, really good team I think will overperform, one mid-tier team I think will overperform, and then one low-tier team I think will overperform. So we'll start with the high tier. I love Texas Tech this season. I love the Red Raiders this season. Guns up. They ranked 12th in Ken Palm, but they're a little bit lower in my ratings, around 19th.
Okay.
I think this is a team with top 10, top 5 upside. I love Grant McCasland, a guy who has outperformed his Ken Palm preseason ranking in all 9 years he's been a head coach, often by an insane amount. They are going to run the same offense they did last year, which was a top 5 offense. JT top in post ISOs, an All-American candidate. Christian Anderson in top in ball screen sets. Anderson's going to have a huge jump as the backcourt lead ball handler. And then just catch and shoot opportunities on the outside where you have three great snipers in Watts, Atwell, and Bryan. And Watts can do more than that. He can provide a little bit of wing creation as a borderline point forward. The defense, I think, will be a lot better than last year. Why? My guy, Luke Bamgoye, one of the best defensive big men in the nation, was the only reason that Ryan Odom's VCU defense worked last year. They brought intense ball pressure because Luke was at the rim with a 15% block rate that was second nationally. If you make him the primary drop defender instead of Toppin, the Red Raiders are going to be really tough to score on. And I think Luke has some untapped upside on the offensive end that he might find playing alongside an All-American candidate. I think Texas Tech is a sneaky Elite Eight Final Four squad.
No, I like that pick. Texas Tech was going to be one of mine. I think my first overperformer is going to be Kansas.
Yep.
Really, really, really like this team. By the way, all six of my picks are from the top 25 guys. Like that's where I'm locked in on right now. We'll dive into the rest of the country later. But Kansas is my first pick. I love the way they built this team around Darren Peterson. I've said it a few times, like, I wouldn't bet on it, but I wouldn't be surprised if we wake up in April and this team's in the Final Four. Like, I think Darren Peterson's going to be one of the best players in the country. I think they surrounded him with role guys that are willing to get dirty, aren't going to ask for the ball, aren't going to ask for the shine. At the end of games, we know where the ball's going to go. It's going to go to Darren Peterson, and he's going to make a play for himself or others. I don't think they really have to question things. I talk about Duke a lot. I think one of the biggest issues they had last year was who gets the ball down the stretch, right? And Cooper Flag,
That was their only issue last year. That's the reason why they got knocked out in
and
the
I think
Final Four. Yeah.
a lot of teams go through that, right? Like
Yeah.
even Duke this year, I look at my pick in Purdue, right? Like Purdue doesn't have that issue because Braden is so special, but in theory, they have multiple guys that can go get you a bucket, and sometimes that it gets in your way at times, and you don't have to worry about that with Kansas. The ball's going to be in Darren Peterson's hands. He's going to make a play, and everybody's okay with that. And I also just think Bill Self's a phenomenal coach too.
Yeah. Also, probably a good time to buy low on Self when everyone's sort of out on Kansas and they're considered a borderline top 25 team. These are the times that he wakes up and proves his coaching chops. I mean, he's one of the best in-game adjusters I've ever seen. So I'll go into my second pick here. Mid-level team. This is about maybe a top 100 team. I think they're ranked in the 90s. I think Florida State overperforms. I like new head coach Luke Locks. I think he's going to usher the Seminoles into the modern day era after Leonard Hamilton ball went a little too far. Expect a BYU type of offense, pace and space, rim and three, drive and kick attack. I love the backcourt. Um, Jacksonville transfer Robbie McRae is one of the best dribble creators in the sport, an elite PNR creator. UMass Lowell transfer Martin Somerville, built in a similar mold. He really improved last season as a PNR creator, and it's one of the reasons why he was the American East Rookie of the Year. Also started the year as a pure catch and shoot threat. He's an elite catch and shoot threat. I think 40% from three, both off the dribble and in catch and shoot. And then you got Drexel transfer Kobe McGee and Bonnie's transfer Legie Jones, another two elite catch and shoot threats. Alongside Clemson transfer Chauncey Wiggins, who's a little bit of a stretch four. Defense will be sketchy. They'll try switching 1 through 5 and try pressuring and denying the gaps. I don't think it'll really work. I don't think there's a lot of athleticism here. But like they're ranked 91st in Ken Palm for a reason. I think I have them 96th in the nation. I just think this offense has a crazy high upside. It's going to be analytically sound. There are going to be shooters everywhere. This is not a one-for-one comparison, but I think it'll be similar to Chris Holtman's first year at DePaul. They jumped 40 spots from their Ken Palm preseason ranking because they were just organized and sound enough on offense to beat the teams they were supposed to beat. Then they were shredded on the defensive end in Big East play. I think that's probably what happens to Florida State, but I think they take a big jump in year one under Luke.
I like that. I like the sport more when Florida State's really good for what it's
Sure.
worth. I
Yeah.
enjoyed those really good Florida State teams. The Dwayne Bacon one, I was crazy high on. I was a little unfortunate they didn't, perform to the level that I thought they would. So I like that pick. My second pick is Tennessee. This is my favorite
Yep.
team in the SEC besides Kentucky.
Yeah.
I think Kentucky is the class of the SEC, but I think Tennessee's right there with them. And I really, really love Jacoby Gillespie. I love Nate Ament. I think is phenomenal. I don't think we're not talking about Nate Ament enough. Like he's like a top 10 pick in the NBA draft coming up. And we're just really not speaking on him at all. I'm not saying this is Rick Barnes' swan song, but every year could be. So I'm also not saying it isn't. And I think, yeah, I really, really, really like this Tennessee team.
Rick Barnes gives you a really high floor. I tend to think the ceiling's a little capped. I wish he would do something. I wish he would tweak his flex motion a bit. It looks the same year over year. I think other opposing coaches start to lock in on that. But they're always, super sound defensively. And they're coming off what? Back-to-back Elite Eight appearances, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I think I'm nitpicking them honestly. But yeah, Tennessee's good.
I think that's the whole point. I think that's the whole thing with some of these teams is like they are gonna unfortunately like nitpick, right? Like be
Yeah.
nitpick. I don't think you're doing anything wrong nitpicking Tennessee. Because we expect like why haven't they made that extra jump? And you kind of have to nitpick them to find out, which is also why I like them so much. If you have to nitpick a team, that means they're really good.
I just think that I've had the same nitpicky stuff with Rick Barnes for 10 years. And it's just like just do something a little bit different on offense, and I think you could really start to unlock that higher ceiling. But
Yeah.
the ceiling's already high. So I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not a head coach of Tennessee or in the SEC. What the hell do I know? But that's what I would do. Um, my third team. I had to get a little mid-major love in here, specifically a little America East love. You could read more about this team in my America East season preview for Mid-Major Madness. That'll be out either this week or next week. I'm still trying to put the final tweaks on that thing. It's a monster. But UMBC, the Retrievers, I think they overperform. They are, just so I have a baseline set up for you guys. Sorry, give me a second here.
Yeah, no worries.
They're ranked 296th in Ken Palm entering the season. And I have them 299th in my preseason rating. So they're a borderline top 300 team. Now, per Ken Palm, per his coach rankings, Jim Ferry is the nation's 20th best offensive coach. UMBC's offense will be good again. It was good last year, was really fun last year. This year, you have Josh Odunawu, who is one of the front runners for Conference Player of the Year. Super efficient interior offensive engine. Um, he just knows how to score. Unbelievable post player, super crafty, can pass the ball as a connector. Ace Valentine is going to be the up and coming point guard. He's just solid, rock solid on both ends of the court. ODU transfer Devin Caesar, Old Dominion, perfect fit for UMBC. The UMBC loves these tiny, speedy dribble guards to run their up tempo, downhill rim attack and kick offense. He's going to score a lot. Jai Lakai King, another perfect fit for UMBC. A great season at D2 New Haven last year. The UMBC did really well scouting and pulling in D2 talent, and there should be enough shooting on the roster to maintain their 4-round one motion offense. I think you'll see more low major teams scout the D2 levels more aggressively in the coming years because there's been a lot of success stories, especially in the America East. Now, also per Ken Palm, Jim Ferry is the nation's 315th best defensive coach. And last year was a disaster because the Retrievers were the smallest team I've ever seen. They were miniature, they were minuscule. And so they were dominated in the paint and they were roasted on the glass both ways. UMBC finished the season with a minus 250 rebounding differential, eighth worst mark in the nation. But they brought in some real size on the wing and in the front court. D2 transfer Ball Green was a double-double machine at the lower level. I think he averaged 13 and 13. Old Dominion transfer Caden Diggs, who came with Caesar. Legit 6'7" wing. They have two returning wings who stand 6'7". The whole season hinges upon Division II Palm Beach Atlantic transfer Jose Roberto Tonchin. 6'10". First legit big man the Retrievers have had in 5 years. At the lower level, fantastic two-way rebounder who can block a few shots. And you don't have to sacrifice much on the offensive end with him because he can step out and hit a few threes, 31% last year. And he's a dog in transition, elite in transition, 1.42 points per possession. It's 95th percentile. Ferry-led teams always pass, shoot, and score. If Tanchin pans out as a true big man that can play tons of minutes alongside Odunwu, UMBC is going to shoot up the ratings on proxy of just better rebounding and interior defense alone. The bar is so low that I think they'll skyrocket up the rankings. I think they're the second best team in the America East behind Vermont, and they're not being priced as that.
Okay. Okay. I'll be honest. I didn't know any of the players you just named. That's just
Yeah,
me.
that's fine. But you know what? If you go and you tune into a UMBC game this year, now you do.
I promise you I will. So like but around my favorite thing to do is when all those tournaments start early, there's
Yep.
always one 16 seed I like to find or like a 15 seed and I'm like that's my team. I'm gonna bet on them to upset the other team. UMBC is normally always like right around the top of like who I like in those stuff too. So
Yeah, because they high upside offense. They shoot a lot. Like I mean, the year they upset Virginia, that was Jarius Lyle's year. They were deadly offensive team. They were sick. They just haven't been able. They just haven't had no size to rebound on the other end. So if this
funny
guy
story.
pans out, they're gonna be good.
Funny story about that game. I watched UMBC play in the tournament and text my buddy they're gonna win a game in the tournament
Yeah.
and then immediately bet Virginia like 10 different ways. So
Nice, dude.
funny.
Stick to your gut, man. Stick to your gut.
My last team that's gonna overperform is one I think you'll agree with, Arizona. I'm
Yep,
Is
yep.
Arizona team. They're ranked preseason at 13. I think this is a top 10, if not top 5 team in the country. I love this team. I think they're going to battle with BYU and Houston to be the class of the Big 12. If Houston wins the Big 12 and they come in second, like I don't think that's like a down season for them. I really, really like this team. I think they're built for March too with their size and athleticism and shooting and the defense. Like I absolutely think they're going to make a run. This is the year Tommy Lloyd finally does it, and he finally puts all the question marks to sleep. And also could be the year he just leaves, if we're being honest too. Because if the Kansas or North Carolina job opens up, who knows? Arizona fans, I know you got mad at me last time I said he might leave. I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying Tommy Lloyd they seemingly always come up in these conversations. That's all.
Did we say he was going to go to Kansas?
We
On
did.
yesterday's
Yeah.
episode, we said Tommy Lloyd to Kansas. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I actually, I felt bad saying they were a sleeper pick to be a top 15 team when they're 13th in the AP poll. They're a sleeper team to be a top 5 team. Yeah, I totally agree. They're nasty.
I like this team. And then
Yeah.
I will just rattle off.
Well, you know what? Before you finish, I will say I think what'll be a fun little back and forth for us this year is the second place Big 12 team between Texas Tech and Arizona.
Okay, I like. Oh, but
I
what about
I like
BYU?
I like Texas Tech. I think you like Zona,
I like
and
Zona.
so yeah, that I think that'll be a fun back and forth. I think Zona's the third best team for sure,
Yeah.
and but that's a good battle.
So you're kind of out on BYU then.
I think BYU's just slightly overhyped. I mean, they're they're going to be really good, but it's not like I'm low on BYU. I'm just high on Arizona and Texas
Yeah.
Tech.
That's
Really high on those two teams. I like how all the pieces fit together. I think there's a few more questions with BYU.
That's an absolutely fair take because I also think BYU has a low, low, low floor. I
For
think
sure, yeah.
they might have the highest ceiling in the Big 12 though,
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just rattle off three underperforming teams. We'll focus on the overperformers, but I'm gonna rattle off three teams I think will underperform. Florida, I'm not gonna explain that. I've been doing it all off season. I think everybody knows my opinion on Florida. I'm not a big Xavier Lee guy. I'm not a big Boogie Flan guy. I think the guys that they returned weren't the focal points of the team. I think they returned their 4 through 6 best players, not their 1 through 3. And then I think they added two guys that are like, okay. But I don't think they can replace what they lost. I also watched Will Richard play for my NBA team on Tuesday night. Really good player. Like really, 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 really good player. And I don't believe Boogie Flan or Xavier Lee are Will Richard, let alone Walter Clayton. Um,
I agree
same,
with that take for what it's worth. Yes, I'm a little low on Florida as well.
very low in Florida. St. John's, same thing. Like I same thing. I really like Ian Jackson. I like the team more when I thought St. On was going to be more involved, but he seemingly hasn't hit for them based upon the quotes that are coming out. And if you're going to start Ozzie Sellers at point guard, I'm completely out. And
You
then
can't
my
start Sanon because he's a shoot first guard though. He's like a microwave candidate. You need a distributor. It's Darling or nothing, and that's the big problem with St. John's point guard.
and I don't know how much I love Darling either.
I'm a
Isaiah
big Darling guy. I'm a big Darling defender, but only on the offensive end. I think he can get eaten apart on the defensive end. Patino would have to hide him, but that's the problem with St. John's.
Isaiah from NYC is going to kill me for that. I'm sorry, Zay. My last one is Auburn. That speaks for itself. Speaks for itself. Respectfully to Auburn, but yeah,
Are you not a Pettiford guy?
I want to choose my words wisely because last time I did this, Sleeve Nash DM'd me on the side and said like the way I came off made it seem like I don't think Pettiford's a good college player. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I've said this a million times. If you could go to the NBA and your intention was to go to the NBA and you come back, there is something the NBA saw that we haven't seen yet at the college level. There is a distinct flaw in your game that was able to be hidden last year, that when you went through that draft process and got nitpicked to the highest level, they found something. I think the more games you play in your lifetime, the more you're nitpicked, the more they find your flaws, which is the more you have to develop. And if you look at the all-time greats, KD developed an elbow jumper, he developed a post game. That's how you offset them figuring out what your flaws are. I don't think Tahad Pettiford is going to do that. I think he's going to be a good to great college player. Like, I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but I think we will nitpick him in a manner we did not do last year when he was also a backup. Now you have the ball in your hands the whole time. It's your team. Your coach is gone, so on and so forth. All the best players are gone too. It's your show. And I just think he's going to get nitpicked to death. And I don't think it's going to go the way he wants it to go. I do not believe he's getting drafted after this year. I said it when he came back. I said if Tahad comes back, this isn't a 1 year thing. Tahad will be a 4 year college player, in my opinion, which there's nothing wrong with. Again, like I'm not trying to come off like that's an issue, but for Tahad Pettiford, that is not what he wants.
Yeah, that's fair. No pushback. I like Overton and Hall as defensive pieces, but this team's not going to be as good as last year.
Like
Not even close.
I don't dislike their team, but if you're building a team around Tahad Pettiford, Stephen Pearl, then some role players, like I don't know that I think that's like a
Well,
top SEC team.
also outside of Pettiford, your two best offensive options are a D2 transfer and a JUCO guy, who, hey, look, both could be really good, but they're also stepping up pretty high, uh, stepping up to the SEC.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not a big Keyshawn Hall guy either, though.
okay.
Topic number two for the day. Shout out JK. I actually really think this topic's fun. We are going to rank our favorite teams. That these are the channel's favorite teams, 1 through 10, in terms of most watchable to least watchable. Just so everyone knows, here's the teams we're gonna do. It's BYU, Purdue, Michigan, Michigan State, Illinois, Kentucky, Louisville, Duke, North Carolina, Indiana. Let's see if we can come up with a list we agree upon here, Tanner. We normally do this. You get one. I think G came up with this. You're gonna get one sway. You're gonna be able to sway me one way on something, and then you get one veto where you just get to decide what's gonna be number one. I'm gonna use my veto early. Purdue's number one.
I had Purdue number one too.
Okay, so that's a waste of my veto. I'm known for that, by the way. I've never once used my veto in the right place, but I did say I was going to use it before I even knew who your number one was. So I'm going to use my veto stands and
Well, for one, it's Purdue Love Week for Tanner. For two, they're going to be a great offense and a potentially bad defense. So they're going to be in a lot of awesome shootout games. Purdue games this year are going to be cinema. I'm excited. And all the cool Braden Smith passes he's going to do in close games. It's got like, 91, 89 in the late in the second half. And he pulls out some crazy behind the back tween
so much
leggers to
fun.
let
Who'd
your
you have? Who'd you have at two?
BYU.
I agree with that. Yeah,
Oh, look at us. All
I
right.
agree.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree with that. There was like I had two or three teams in contention for that, but BYU was at the top of my list.
One of the most fun teams to watch nationally, period.
I
Kevin,
also just
Kev, sorry.
Devontae.
Yeah, I was
Devontae.
gonna say, well, Kevin Young offenses rock, and now you throw DeBonsa in there. Very fun team. Yep.
Very, very fun. And you just never know what's going to happen with AJ. And I
Yep.
mean that positively, not negatively.
Yep.
Three, I was going to throw this, I was going to go with Kentucky personally.
I was gonna go with Louisville.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, you know what's funny? You're more pro Kentucky. I'm more pro Louisville on this.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is like when I record with Cart. Cart's very pro Louisville. Cart might be one of the more faker Louisville fans. I don't,
Mm.
but like this is exactly. So I'm willing because of the injuries. Do you want to go Louisville three, Kentucky four?
I would do that. I had Kentucky five, but I could do three and four. I mean, look, just like Louisville's great. Pat Kelsey offense, elite five-star point guard, elite shot making wings, elite spacing. Conwell is one of the nation's best scorer. This is a highly entertaining team. They're going to be a highly entertaining team night in and night out. Kentucky's going to be defense is going to be way more important for Kentucky than Louisville.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. If JQ and Lowe were playing early in the season, I think I would have made a harder push for Kentucky to be three. But with some of the injuries, I definitely think like the early season Louisville games are way more watchable at the
Yep.
moment.
hmm Yep. So we're on to five.
Hmm.
So for number four, I might be a hot take. I put Illinois, but with
Oh yeah.
the caveat when they're hitting shots.
So Illinois was my five just
Oh,
because
nice.
I'm not even saying like we're gonna enjoy it. Like the whole Illinois experience is so entertaining. Whether it's like will Petrovic even play? Is
Mhm.
Stojakovic even hurt? Like what video are they gonna post to social media next? Like the whole Illinois experience is extremely watchable. So yeah, that I completely agree with them at five.
Yeah, and they also just they run the Avicic is just a pick and roll, pick and pop machine. So they can just do that every time down the court. They just got to hit some more shots this year. Just hit your threes, man. God, last year was so frustrating watching that team.
Also, Kevin Sweeney, I've said this a few times. Sweeney's completely convinced me Boswell might be an All-American. Like, just
Yeah.
I heard him speak about it. G called him, and just listening to him talk about Boswell, I'm like, ah, you know what? Like, yeah, we should all be watching Boswell this year and see what happens.
All right, I'll keep it on my radar. I'm not convinced, but I'll keep it on my radar. Who do you have at six?
Michigan State. So I'm so high on Cohen Carr. I'm extremely, and I think for what it's worth, individual player, the most exciting player in the country. And if Cohen Carr is who I believe he's going to be, which is a 15 to 18 point per game guy, that Michigan State team is going to be so much fun to watch.
I had Michigan and then Michigan State at six and seven.
Can we flip it since we did that with Kentucky Louisville? We'll go Michigan State, Michigan for this go round.
Yes, we can. And I mean, look, my only argument I'll say for Michigan over Michigan State is I'm always fascinated with how Dusty uses his unique rosters. And he has this again this year. Obviously with the three bigs and Yaxel as sort of your like point forward. But I do think the three big situation could result in some weird lackluster ball with some weird floor spacing. And Michigan State, I don't know. Michigan State, I always love watching Michigan State in transition. I think Izzo's the best two-way transition coach maybe ever.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're very fun to watch in all the other areas of the court where they're very physical and they rely a lot on rebounding and shot volume battle and defense. But I'm willing to put Sparty and then the Wolverines at six and seven.
I'm gonna be honest, I had Michigan 10 because LA Cadeau's on the roster, but I'm okay putting them
That's
at 7.
so fair.
I'm okay putting them at 7. I couldn't be more out on LA Cadeau. But I will say this, I said it all off season. Dusty May has me convinced it might work too. I don't actually know.
Right.
Um, what do you think
Now,
about 8, 9, 10?
I went Duke
Okay.
at 8. I don't know if you had the
So
same.
Duke was 9 for me.
Okay.
I think Duke might be besides Purdue, Duke's the best team on this list. I think Duke's style of play in terms of watchability, it's not at the top of my list.
I think Shire offenses can be kind of boring.
Yeah.
A lot of stagger after stagger relies on talent. Plus, they usually just blow out their ACC competition and are just so elite defensively. They can be a pain to watch. Like the who was it 2 years ago? The Filipowski year. I thought it was the same set over and over. They run slow. Um I wrote a story on this a couple years ago. Coach K was one of the more quick paced coaches in the nation. Shire has taken it down to a grind. They just slowly grind you down with more methodical half court sets and play elite transition defense. And it works. Not very fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, in terms of winning games, I think Duke and Purdue are easily the best two teams on this list, and I think I very well believe those two could be the last two teams standing, and then it's a coin flip, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of watchability, I don't want to watch great defense. I'm good. I'd
I
rather
don't want to
watch
watch
exciting stuff.
Duke, Georgia Tech on a Saturday at noon. I just don't. Yeah. I want to bet the under and turn on a mid-major game. Um,
That's why I had Indiana 8.
yeah,
Uh,
so I didn't know where to put Indiana on this list. So here's kind of what my thing was I put him at 10, saying this is not going to be the case this year. They will probably actually be one of the more fun teams to watch because I really like DeVries offense.
yeah.
I'm poking one last joke at Woodson slot ball. Those teams were the fucking worst to watch. I am so happy I never have to watch him again. Let's put Indiana at 8. We'll put Indiana at 8. Honestly, though,
Um,
if that team pans out how I expect it to, by watchability, I'd put them right in the firmly in the Kentucky, Illinois, Michigan tier, that 4, 5, 6 area. But I'll
Completely
put
agree. As
yeah,
a West Virginia fan, I think Darren DeVries' offenses are like one of the more exciting offenses to watch in the country. He has a lot more talent, I would say, this year as well.
Wilkerson is going to be awesome.
Than he
Yeah,
had last year. And I think, I mean, his son, by the way, like Tuck didn't play for us like last year,
yeah.
really.
Mhm.
And you give Tuck and Lamar. I don't know. I really do believe in even Reed Bailey. I really do believe in this Indiana team. I think he quietly put together one of the best teams in the Big Ten. I had
Yeah.
North Carolina 9. Caleb Wilson,
Oh, so
Kion Evans.
you had North Carolina at 9 and Duke at 10.
Well, technically at Duke 9, Michigan 10, but since we put Michigan 7, I then bumped them all down a slot. But
Okay.
yeah, I think North Carolina to me is more watchable than Duke because I also think Duke's going to beat everybody in the ACC besides Louisville by 30. And that isn't very watchable. Like Duke is going to punish this conference. They're going to punish their non-conference teams. Like when you look at the Duke schedule, there's not many games they watch where I'm like, that should be close. Or there's not many games they play where I think that it's going to be very close.
I put Duke over North Carolina just because I don't like North Carolina ball right now.
Oh,
But Caleb Wilson, I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one. I have to think about that. Do I have a veto though? I still have a veto,
yeah,
right?
you have the veto. You could do North Carolina 10 and Duke 9. I'm fine with that.
All right, that's the veto, but I will say I'm not sure about it. So, all right, our full list then: Purdue, BYU, Louisville, Kentucky, Illinois, Michigan State, Michigan, Indiana, Duke, North Carolina. We are not big ACC guys.
Yeah, ACC stinks. And it's not.
I'm kind of anti ACC too. Like I feel like when I'm turning on, all right, so like on a Saturday, typically what I do is I have two quad boxes going on my desk, one for high major teams, one for mid major teams. I always leave out the ACC like game of like the window. You know what I mean? I like unless it's like Duke, North Carolina, but then usually I tune that out at halftime if Duke's blowing them out or something.
No, completely
Yeah,
agree. Completely agree. Yeah, I don't know. I'm Duke, Georgia Tech, like you said, that doesn't
doesn't move
interest
the
me.
needle.
Duke Clemson doesn't interest me. I can get behind a North Carolina Clemson game because it would be close. but like
Yeah.
those, it's close in the same sense that like Northwestern UCLA, or not UCLA is a bad example. Northwestern USC might be close.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's not like a close game because I think both teams are good.
I am very excited to watch all the Louisville non-conference games, though. I'm gonna watch every single one of those.
Louisville's going to be very fun. That's why we rank them high. But as you can see from our list, not big ACC guys, but as usual, another win for my Boilermakers, 3 units. The GOAT Andy Katz is back. He has his top 10 bigs list, and I'm very excited to get your reaction to it, Tanner. We did the top 10 wings list yesterday, and we realized he didn't really have any wings on the list. So I'm curious how many of these bigs you think are bigs, and if you think any of them should have actually been on the wings list. But I actually think there's one of them you're definitely going to say should have been on the wings list. But his top 10 bigs in order. You have Yaxel Lendenborg, Zubi Ejiofor, my guy TK, Trey Kaufman ran, Cam Boozer, Nate Ament, Nate Biddle, Graham EK, Chris Sinak, not the Houston big I thought was going to be on the list. Krivas, I'm not going to try to say his first name, and then Mustafa Theon.
Yeah, we have a lot of the same reactions, I think. Amen's a wing.
Amen to win.
Amen's a wing. Didn't we talk about this yesterday?
Hmm.
He's gonna play at the three, and he will be a prototypical wing in that season. If Tugler is a big, Tugler, you got to put Tugler in there as the Houston big. Tugler is the best defensive player in the nation. He might be one of the top five best players in the nation. Tugler is that good. I don't know how you don't put him on this list. Is Koa Pete big?
I think Ko is a wing
All
personally.
right. Because I was
Personally.
gonna say, I'm not sure if you want to put Krivas as the Arizona big.
I mean, I'm okay with Arizona not having someone on the list. Koa should have been on the wings list, though.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Koa should have been somewhere.
Um, none of the Florida guys, or are they all wings?
The Florida guys is crazy. Like, if Florida is
Hoggercon.
who we think they are, somebody has to be on this list, right? Like, if they're
Yeah.
truly the number two team in the country, because you have to, in my opinion, they are ranked that highly because of their returning bigs, not because of the two guards that they brought in.
Yeah, I agree. So the way I came down to it was, other than those questions, guys that definitely deserve to be on this list that are um Big Yaks. I think Zuby should be on it, but I think he's overrated.
Can I make a pitch to you that I think Yaxel's a wing?
I would say I think he could be a wing too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. To me, Yaxel's a wing. Like if Yaxel, what like, what he really is a tweener. Like there is no
Yes.
definition for
A
him.
point forward, yeah, something like that.
If he wasn't a tweener though, he's a wing. And if he was a wing, he'd be in the
All right, so guys that definitely don't deserve to be on this list, Big Yaks.
NBA.
I think Zuby should be on this list, but I think he's way overrated at number two. Like I would put TKR over him,
For sure.
Boozer,
I think
EK.
TK should have been one.
I I probably agree with that. Just I can't think of anyone else. I like EK a lot. I would keep Biddle on this list. I think Biddle is one of the more underrated big men in the country. Just the way he's a great post up player. He's a good passer, and the way he plays inside out. Like those Oregon offenses are always good with him.
Yeah.
Him and Shellstad, great 1-2 combo. Anyone? Is there anyone we're missing? I was trying to think about that. Is there anyone like other than Tugler?
Yeah, Tugler. JQ.
Oh yeah,
That's a, that's an alarming miss, actually. Maybe he
yeah,
left off because of the injury, but like JQ's the best big in the country if he's healthy.
yeah. Better than TKR?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Wow. I don't know if I'm that high on JQ. I think he's an elite defensive player. I mean, what's your pitch? What's your pitch for you would have this wing over any other wing in the country?
Like JQ over anybody.
Yeah. What 30-second elevator pitch.
I think regardless of college or pros, I think JQ's one of maybe the 5 to 10 best defensive bigs in the world. Like I think if he was eligible to be in the NBA, like I don't think he plays enough to be defensive player of the year, but I think we are 2 to 3 years from him being in the defensive player of the year conversations with a Chet and a Wemby. I think he's that level of defender. This is way more than 30 seconds, I'm sorry.
No, go on. I'm
Bam
listening.
Adebayo.
You have me hooked.
He's Bam Adebayo. like to me. And Bam Adebayo is one of the best players in the world. Bam Adebayo had to develop the offensive game, but Bam right away was very switchable 1 through 5. JQ right now can guard 1 through 5. I don't think there's anybody else in college basketball that can do that. And there's select players in the world that can do that, especially as a big.
If you were building a college basketball team right now and you had to take one five man for this year,
Mhm.
would you still take JQ over Tugler?
Yes.
I don't know if I would.
I would take both. I love TK. I would take both over TK. I think it's really Purdue has done it, and this is why Paint deserves so much credit. TK deserves so much credit. Braden and all of them deserve so much credit. I think on this list and maybe in college basketball, TK is one of the harder pieces to build around. I think it's very, very easy to build around JQ. Very easy.
That's a good conversation. I just like Tugler a lot. I
I, I,
really
I
like
like I
Tugler.
like Tugler a lot too, but I think Tugler's a better rim protector. But I think if you can get Tugler in space, you can get to him. If you get JQ in space,
His trailing block ability is super underrated. I mean, that's the thing about Houston is that even when you think you have them beat, you don't have them beat
right.
because there's always going to be a weak side guy or someone's going to catch up to you and block you. And just the way Samson works with all of them in that blitz scheme, it's two to the ball constantly, two to the ball, quick rotation, and Tugler so fast for a big. I feel like
I think it really just comes down to what you value defensively. I've never been a huge, I mean, I think JQ is a good to great rim protector, but I've never been a huge like rim protection guy. Like I hate Rudy Gobert. I hate Rudy Gobert. I don't care what he does. Like I don't care how many shots he blocks. I don't care how many effects. If you get him in space, he's cooked. I value the guy like a Bam Adebayo that like maybe he doesn't block the most shots, but he if he gets switched on to Steph Curry, he can handle it. He's not going to foul. He's not going to get embarrassed, so on and so forth. And I think JQ is that type of player, and it's just more so like what my vibe is defensively, I guess you could say.
all right, so in some order, you and I would have Zuby, TKR, Boozer, Biddle, EK, Tugler, and JQ on the list.
Hmm.
I have a few mid-major guys I want to throw out.
Okay.
Um, since you asked me yesterday, on the wings list. Chase Walker of Illinois State is arguably the mid-major player of the year. Big man. Will be the engine for one of the most fun offenses in the lower ranks. Positively unbelievable post scorer who's good at passing out of double teams and finding all of his off-ball shot makers. That's the best thing about Illinois State is all four of the other guys can shoot from three. He's going to carry an offense that might carry the Redbirds to the Valley title this year, honestly.
Uh,
Magoon,
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I did want to throw this out there because just before we forget, you brought up Illinois State. It reminded me Big T should probably be on this list.
oh, Avicic?
Yeah, Thomas
Yeah,
Knox. He should
yeah, he
probably be on
should.
this list.
That's a good shout too. We would put him on there. Um, I think Magoon Guath will be the mid-major defensive player of the year, San Diego State. I think he's an
Oh,
awesome
I
rim
forgot
protector.
about him. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
He would honestly borderline top 10 big in the country, depending on how good San Diego State is this year. And he's
Yeah.
young. I think he was like a frosh last year. He grew into a pretty big role.
If he
Um,
transferred to Kentucky, I think he's on this list.
for sure. Yeah. I think he's a sneaky NBA player. Um, Robbie Avila, I think, will have a monster bounce back season after last year's sort of weird transition to the A10. Zach Cleveland of Liberty is a guy to watch. He'll be awesome this season. A lot of great big men in the mid majors this season. The two guys that I was thinking about is if you can call Yale's Nick Townsend or Penn's Ethan Roberts a big. I think they're both wings though. Townsend might be a big. Roberts might be a wing. But yeah, Walker, Avila, Guath, Cleveland, a couple of mid-major guys I'd throw close to this list.
And another big, I don't know if I'd have him on the list, but just someone to watch. I mean, Henry Visar.
Yep.
Um, I don't think he's far off being on this list. Like I said, Big T, Merez. I don't think
Mraz
Merez
is
is
a good
that far
call.
being off this list too. If Yaxel's at 1, Merez can't be 20. Like I think they're pretty close to each other in their own right.
Is Terrace Reed close to this list?
I don't know. I mean, I like Terrace, but I don't know that I think I'd rather have Oscar Clough on the list than Terrace Reed.
I think I probably agree with that.
Yeah. But I mean, Andy Katz does it again, top 10 list. Do you think he has any more left in the tank before the season starts, or do you think this was the last?
We're gonna get a top 10 guards list
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
with like I'm trying to think of the most ludicrous name you can put on it.
I want top 10 um most like entertaining.
Oh, he's leaving Tugler for the top 10 guards list. He's gonna put Tugler on the top 10 guards because he didn't make the wing or the bigs list.
Wait, what? I'm sorry. He's leaving Tugler for the cards list. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's his plan. He's leaving him for the guards list. He's a top 10
Just
guard. What was your list going to be? Top 10 most entertaining players?
most entertaining teams or like whoever Andy Katz wants to watch. I don't know. I just want to know what Andy Katz is doing on a Saturday.
Andy Katz does a lot of work for the Am East channel, I noticed. I wonder if he is a fellow Am East sicko.
I like. I think there's more American East sickos than like credit.
I'm in a America East only fantasy basketball league. There's at least 12 of us.
I gotta have you met Guy Franklin? He's in the Discord. Been on.
I know of Guy. I don't think I've met him.
We got to get you and Guy together. Guy's a huge mid-major guy. He'll
That's what I've heard.
he'll text me on like a Tuesday, like two schools he's watching. I've never heard of either. Like I didn't know I didn't know they had colleges, let alone college basketball teams. And I'm just like, sick guy. Like go for it. Purdue's on, by the way. So I'm just gonna watch the really good game, I think. But
That's funny.
that's Andy Katz's top 10 bigs list. The GOAT strikes again. One big thing presented by somebody. Tanner, do you got one big thing for us?
Yeah, my uh final physical edition of Blue Ribbon showed up today, which is always exciting. I love the spiral bound edition because I hate reading on my laptop.
Yeah.
It bugs my eyes. So as I get into the depths of the ASUN and the NEC, I think I'm going to do the Mac, the AA Mac today. This will be much needed. So thank you. What's his name? Chris Dortch.
Okay. Okay. My one big thing is just a thank you to you. You've made this very easy the last 2 days, and this is not an easy thing like to just sub in for. You know what I'm saying? And obviously we have big shoes to fill with G and Cart. So I just wanted to thank you for that. I have two one big things because my other one big thing is I just want to say how proud I am of my brothers G and Cart and everything they're doing. And I can't wait for that content to come out. And I hope that they had a lot of fun in Kansas City. I hope they enjoyed themselves. I hope they're going to come back proud of the content we put out and excited to not only make stuff for sleepers, but take their next trip because they can trust the channel's in good hands. Just super proud of my brothers, and I can't wait to see what's next for them.
I agree. Dion, you are a great dude and a great dude to talk ball with.
I
Hopefully we
appreciate
get to do it again in the future. I'm sure we will.
Absolutely. Well, definitely at bare minimum, I will get on some mid-major previews and recaps with you.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
We'll do the
It'll be a blast.
UMBC one because I'm
Yeah,
gonna watch some
UMBC.
UMBC games this year. But thank you guys, everybody. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you liked it, let us know. If you didn't like it, you can let us know too, because me and Tanner do not care. Thank you guys.